Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks.
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
John, I got you.
John, do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud. Am I in the air? Sunday nights, prime time. I flex mine better. Voltron transform to DX Don. Mega and off-scene. You probably think I'm nice, cause I flow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air?
Well, what is going down, everybody? Welcome to the show. It is Am I on the Air? The journey to get here has been long and tiring, but I welcome you to the show nonetheless. I am your host, Don Mega. It is Am I on the Air? The original version of this podcast was recorded a couple days ago on June 21st on Father's Day. And first and foremost, happy Father's Day to all the great dads out there. Hope you had a great day. After I recorded the show, the episode failed, and I could not upload it. And it was a very sad loss. And so I decided, to kind of reboot and start fresh, and let's get it cracking for a second time. Well, that second time failed on me as well. So I spent several hours on Father's Day wrapping up my own personal Father's Day because, got my little girl here at home, and it was a good day for me, but it was not a good night. And Father's Day ended on a very sour note as two versions of this episode completely bombed and failed and did not record. Been having some computer issues for the last couple days. I think I've sorted them out, and here I am now for take 3. So it is now June 23rd. I originally was thinking, I'll just re-record the show again, and I'll pretend it's Sunday still, and blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. This is a Tuesday night. It's June the 23rd now, and we're going to try this again, part 3. So it's season 10, episode 23. Tonight's episode is titled, Hold On to Your Butts. Or as I was going to retitle it, Third Time's the Charm. So, I hope 3 times is the charm, and I don't waste another hour of my time for this to fail again. So, we will see, my friends. Before we get started, I just want to quickly shout out once again, Red Dragons Assemble. If you have not listened to Red Dragons Assemble yet, I implore you to go to reddragonsradio.com and listen to Red Dragons Assemble. That is the spin-off show. It's another podcast that we do once a month with myself, Geeky Pat, and Peeps, and we break down all the big entertainment news of the month. So if you listen to this show, there's no reason why you wouldn't love Red Dragons Assemble, so please go check that out. Alrighty, my friends, let's get into the news of the week. And, there is some big news that will pretty much wrap up this episode at the end, that maybe there was a reason why I had to wait till today to be able to record so I could talk about it. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the last week of news as we broadcast live here from Red Dragons Radio Studios. Alright, up first, so last week we talked about Jurassic World, and it's the #1 movie, and it was breaking all kinds of records. On last week's show, when we talked about the box office, we talked about that Jurassic World ended the weekend at $204 million, just missing the record a little bit of beating the Avengers to be the biggest debut in North American history. Well, the final numbers came out that Monday, And guess what? Jurassic World did break the record, and it officially grossed $208.8 million at the North American box office, passing the original Avengers film, which had brought in 207.4. So Jurassic World is the biggest North American opening of all time. So very big there. It is the biggest global opening of all time. And literally just a couple days ago, it passed the $1 billion mark already. And it's the quickest movie to ever hit $1 billion. It did it in just 13 days. So Universal Pictures, everybody involved with Jurassic World is very happy right now. So, and I thought it was really cool because not only did it break the Avengers record, to show you how cool Marvel is, Marvel president Kevin Feige, he sent out a picture, he tweeted out a picture of Chris Pratt riding a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the T-Rex is holding Thor's hammer, and all the Avengers are basically looking up and pointing at the dinosaur and Chris Pratt, and it says, "Marvel congratulates Jurassic World for becoming the new record holder." And I thought that was so cool on Marvel's part to actually, their record was broken, and I mean, if I was them, I'd probably be a little butthurt about it, and I thought that they handled it with a lot of class. So very cool on Marvel's part. I am going to be talking about a couple video games, because you know what happened last week was the big E3 conference, video game conference. It's basically like the Comic-Con of video games. They announce all the big stuff coming out for the major platforms like PlayStation and Xbox and all that stuff. So E3 happened, and of course some big news dropped. I'm just going to touch on some games. I'm not going to do all the E3 news. If you are interested in a bigger E3 roundup, I really suggest that you go check out my boy Geeky Pat and his show This Week with the Geek. His latest episode of This Week with the Geek is all about E3. So if you go to reddragonsradio.com, click on the tab that says This Week with the Geek, and check out his E3 episode, because it was a really good listen. He's super excited to do that episode. It's one of his favorite times of the year. And, so I'll touch on some stuff, but if you really want a bigger wrap up, definitely check out This Week with the Geek. Up first is that we are getting a brand new version of the video game Doom. Doom was one of the original first-person shooters that I can remember that everybody loved. I remember playing this thing as a kid, and then we even got a movie out of it with The Rock. And but we're getting a new one for next-gen systems. Doom is coming for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the PC in spring of 2016. That's going to be awesome. Also, for all of you Fallout fans out there, it was announced that Fallout 4 is being released in stores on November 10th, 2015. So that's a big one there. I know a lot of people are very excited about Fallout 4. I never really played the Fallout games, so maybe there's something there for me to get geeked out about. I'll have to wait and see a little bit. So we all know that next year in October, we're going to be getting the Channing Tatum-led Gambit movie for Fox. It's been a long time coming to get that Gambit movie, and I was starting to worry because the only news we know about this Gambit movie is that Channing Tatum is Gambit. There's been no director, there's really been no other casting announcements, no nothing, and I was starting to think, like, man, this movie's probably going to get pushed back. Well, we did finally find out last week that a director has signed on, and is none other than Rupert Wyatt. Rupert Wyatt directed Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Last year he did The Gambler with Mark Wahlberg. I really love Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Such a good movie, such a great reboot for a franchise I really didn't care about until he got his hands on it. Love what he did with it. So Rupert Wyatt, I think, is a great choice. Channing Tatum stoked, and they're going to get ready to start filming this thing here pretty soon. So it's good news on the X-Men front. And sticking with Gambit news, an interview happened with Channing Tatum a couple days ago, and they asked him once again about X-Men Apocalypse and his appearance in that, and he went on record saying, "I will definitely not be in X-Men Apocalypse." So he is saying, nope, he's not going to be in it. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I can kind of understand just due to the timelines, because if Gambit is an origin story and it takes place in today's, time and date, it wouldn't work in Apocalypse, because Apocalypse is set in the 80s. So that would make sense to me. We'll have to wait and see what really happens with this, because he could always pop up in maybe a post-credit scene or something. We'll see. But as of right now, Channing Tatum says, don't expect me in it. I'll definitely not going to be in X-Men Apocalypse. One of the big things at E3 also, and this was, I'm a PlayStation guy. I do not like the Xbox, but one thing I will give props to is that the Xbox announced that the Xbox One is going to be doing backward compatibility, and it's pretty much active right off the get-go. And this is really exciting. One thing I never understood with these game systems is why not do backwards compatibility. When the PS3 originally came out, I was lucky enough to get one of the PS3s that did backwards compatibility, and I loved it. I could play PS2 games on it. And then all the later versions of the PS3s did not do backwards compatibility, and I hated that because my backwards one actually broke, and then I couldn't do it anymore. And it was always a feature that I thought would be really cool. I think the PS4 should play PS3 games and vice versa. So I give Xbox a lot of credit for doing this. Of course, everybody thought PlayStation was going to follow suit, but the guys behind Sony are saying, nope, we have no plans for backwards compatibility. Alright, we got Catherine Waterston has been cast in the Harry Potter spinoff, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. A&E has ordered 2 more seasons of Bates Motel, which makes me very happy. I'm a big fan of Bates Motel. One show that is not returning, though, is The Returned. The Returned is not returning over at A&E as it has been canceled. For those of you that are fans of the Halloween franchise, Michael Myers. Michael Myers is getting his return to the big screen. I really liked the Rob Zombie reboot that happened. He did part 1 and part 2. It was a complete reboot in the vein of, how Rob Zombie does horror films. I really, really liked them. They were going to do a third one. It was going to be called Halloween 3D, but that was scrapped. And they basically went back to the well, and they were trying to figure out what they wanted to do. And now they decided to do another Halloween, but this one's actually going to be connected to the original movies. And not like the original 8 or 9 that came out. They're saying this one will actually be a part 3 to the original 2 films. So you'll have the original part 1, the original part 2, and then this new one will fit the timeline as a true part 3 to kind of create like a new version of the trilogy. The new film is going to be called Halloween Returns, and they're working on that now, and it'll probably come out next year. So that is pretty cool. Forrest Whitaker's got some casting news going on. He has just signed on to play a role in the Star Wars anthology Rogue One that comes out next year. That's pretty cool. He is also in talks to jump onto the Crow remake. So that is pretty cool. The only thing I can really think about him being in the Crow movie would be like Ernie Hudson's character, which that'd be cool. I just don't know what else he could be, but Forrest Whitaker in the Crow? Sure, why not? But it's not all good news for the Crow, as once again I have to report on some sad stuff, and that is that Jack Houston, who signed on a couple months back to play the Crow, to play Eric Draven, has dropped out of the film. Of course, he's citing some kind of bullshit scheduling conflicts, which, once again, is a complete load of crap, because when you sign on to a film if your schedule is going to work or not. I hate it. So who knows what the true story is here, other than he's left the project. And it's a bummer. I don't know much about Jack Houston, but I've heard nothing but good things about him, and I was excited that he was going to, get this opportunity to play the Crow. This also really frightens me. The Crow is one of my all-time favorite movies, and, we're in this, like, kind of loophole now of actors signing on and then leaving the project. This goes back years to Bradley Cooper being involved, and Tom Hiddleston, and of course Luke Evans was on, and then Luke Evans dropped out, and then they got Jack Houston. And it just really bums me out that these people keep coming and going. So Jack O'Connell and Nicholas Hoult are supposedly two names that are in the running to replace him. I don't like either of those two. I like Nicholas Hoult a lot, but I don't think that he will fit Eric Draven whatsoever. So we'll have to wait and see. The director of the movie says, that they're still moving ahead and they're planning to start filming here in the next couple weeks. So we will see on that one. Winona Ryder is set to star in a brand new Netflix mystery series from the Duffer Brothers. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. But good to see Winona Ryder doing something. Lifetime Channel has greenlit an unauthorized Beverly Hills 90210 tell-all movie. Ooh, I like those Lifetime tell-all movies, man. They're hilarious. Like if you watch the Saved by the Bell one, and now they're doing a Full House one, and now they're gonna do this 90210 one. I'm there, man. This shit's so over the top cheesy. Bravo Channel's Shaws of Sunset has been renewed for a 5th season, which I always find hilarious when I'm not even aware that there was a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th season to get a 5th season renewal. We have the first look at Get Smurfy, the brand new Smurf reboot that's going to be fully animated. It's got voices by Demi Lovato and Rainn Wilson, so it's a first look at the new animated Get Smurfy film. New Girl star Lamorne Morris has joined Barbershop 3. I really like this dude a lot. He is so funny on New Girl, and I think, I would like to see him get an opportunity here to do a little bit more on the big screen, and I think that doing something like Barbershop 3 is a great fit, so congratulations to him for getting that. Christian Bale and Oscar Isaac are set to star in a new indie film called The Promise. Disney is moving forward with a Maleficent sequel, so that is pretty cool there for all you Disney fans out there. They are trying to get Angelina Jolie to return. They said it looks pretty likely, but she is not contracted to return at this point. But they're thinking that it's looking pretty good. So, there's no doubt there, and it's no shocker there, because Maleficent made, like $750 million at the box office. So there's no doubt that Disney's going to want to move forward with a sequel on this. So, speaking of sequels that we're getting because they make a lot of money, we're getting another Pitch Perfect. This was no shocker here, because I think we talked about this actually last week, that they were moving forward with this, and they had hired a screenwriter to pen out the script. But the big question mark here was, is Anna Kendrick and Rebel Wilson going to return? Well, lucky for all you Pitch Perfect fans out there, they have renegotiated their contracts, and they are signed on, and they will be back for Pitch Perfect 3, which has also been given a release date of July 21st, 2017. So that is coming at you, Pitch Perfect 3. Let's see here. The FX network has already snagged the TV rights to Jurassic World, so if you wait a couple years, you can see Jurassic World on your FX channel. Probably about 500 times when they keep replaying it. We have the first poster, and basically just the first poster for the latest Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, The Road Chip. Oh yeah, Alvin! We got some Ubisoft reveals from E3, including the new Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, South Park, and more. So go ahead and check out that article if you're interested in those. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming first to the PlayStation 4. I was not a big Final Fantasy fan, so I could care less, but I know, like, my brother-in-laws are, and I know a lot of people that are super stoked for this Final Fantasy remake on the PS4, so I'm very happy that they're going to get something cool like this, because it's going to be a big old remake that I think is going to be pretty tight. I'm very excited about this next piece of video game news. I am a big Call of Duty fan, and Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is coming in November, and one of the biggest pet peeves that I've had with the Call of Duty franchise is that the Xbox has always gotten the DLC first. They've always had this exclusivity contract to where they could release the DLC first on Xbox PlayStation always had to wait like an extra month and a half, and then they could finally get the DLC, and I hated that. Well, it's about damn time. That exclusivity contract has run out, and now PlayStation has picked it up, and we're going to get the DLC first. So starting with Call of Duty Black Ops 3, all DLC will come to the PlayStation first. Very, very excited about this. I've already pre-ordered Black Ops 3, and now I get to know that I get DLC first. Hells to the yeah. Jason Segel is in talks to join Hugh Jackman and Rooney Mara in a new film called Collateral Beauty. Sony's E3 conference unveiled some information about Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, The Last Guardian, Final Fantasy VII, and the new Call of Duty Black Ops, so definitely check out those. PlayStation also this past week on the PS4 revealed and dropped the Media Player download. I was very excited about this because the PS4 has been lacking a media player for a long time. Now they got it. It works perfectly for me because I have a home-based cloud system set up, and my cloud is plugged in hardwired to the PS4, and now my cloud shows up on the media player on the PlayStation so fluidly, and I can watch videos and look at pictures and everything. So great stuff from PlayStation. Thank you for finally giving us the media player. Rock Band 4 has been officially announced and given a release date of October 6th, where you can now pre-order the whole bundle with the drums and the guitar and microphone. I have pre-ordered my bundle, and if you pre-order on Amazon, you get like 36 or 37 songs for free as part of your pre-order, so I am all about that. Give me some free music. Speaking of music games, it was also announced that Guitar Hero Live is dropping a couple weeks after Rock Band on October 20th, and you can now get the bundle with one guitar or the double bundle with two guitars, and you can also pre-order through GameStop or Amazon, and my Amazon is loaded up and ready to go. Bradley Cooper and Todd Phillips are set to produce WB's World War II true tale called Ghost Army. I know Geeky Pat will be stoked on that. Going back to E3, Nintendo's big announcement was that Star Fox Zero is coming to the Wii U this holiday season, so very cool there. Showtime has renewed Penny Dreadful for Season 3. I gave up on Penny Dreadful. We tried to watch it. First season was gave up on it, didn't care about the second season, and I can care less that the third season's coming, but to all you fans out there, I'm sure you're pretty stoked to know that Season 3 is on its way. The Starz Channel has greenlit a series adaptation of Neil Gaiman's book, American Gods. So I'm hearing nothing but good things about this, so that's going to be pretty cool. Sci-Fi has announced its Comic-Con 2015 lineup, so if you're going to Comic-Con, you want to see what they're bringing, go check out that article. Regina King is going to be returning to American Crime for Season 2. Mark Ruffalo says he's going to show up in Captain America 3 Civil War. Why? Because Robert Downey Jr. told him so. It's a very funny story behind this, which I don't know if I truly believe or not, but according to Mark Ruffalo, he says, I wasn't thinking I was in the film, but Robert Downey called him and said, hey, so I'm going to see you next week, and or in a couple weeks, and he was like, you are? And Robert was like, yeah, you're on the docket, your scenes are being filmed in the next couple weeks. And he was like, okay, then I guess I'll see you. But Mark Ruffalo swears that he has not been given a script. No one's called him to come down. So it's very weird. This whole thing's very, very odd, and I think they're just trying to keep it a secret, and Robert Downey's probably spoiling it. But in any of the case, if we do get a Mark Ruffalo sighting in Civil War, I think that's pretty damn cool. Even if he doesn't become the Hulk in the movie, at least if we get a little bit of Bruce Banner, I would appreciate that. I mean, for God's sakes, him and Thor are the only two missing from Civil War in the first place. We got some new movie trailers. First up is Extinction, starring Matthew Fox. It's a sci-fi horror movie. We got The Runner, starring Nicolas Cage. We got Time Out of Mind, starring Jenna Malone and Richard Gere. We have the Honest trailer for Toy Story, featuring Will Sasso. When Will Sasso does a killer Randy Newman impression. What do you think in the Toy Story theme song? It is pretty damn hilarious. Will Sasso used to do Randy Newman parodies all the time on Mad TV, and I was cracking up at this on on this Honest trailer. So funny. Let's see here. Back to some E3 stuff. You know, the video game Destiny, its third expansion pass is officially called the Taken King, and that will arrive on September 15th. In our Everything Wrong With series, we have Everything Wrong With 50 Shades of Grey in 18 minutes or less that you can check out, and it's worth it. I didn't see the movie, but watching Everything Wrong With was pretty damn funny. Let's see here. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 director, Mark Webb, has signed an overall deal with CBS Television Studios, so he's going to be doing some new projects with them. Woody Harrelson is set to play LBJ in a new political drama directed by Rob Reiner. Kenneth Branagh is in talks to direct Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt's new sci-fi film Passengers is pretty close to getting a green light from Sony. No shocker here. I mean, once Sony saw how much money Jurassic World was making, they were like, hey, why don't you go green light that sci-fi movie he wants to do? Jason Momoa, Thomas Middleditch, and Famke Janssen have joined Bruce Willis in a new action comedy. I like that lineup a lot, so I'm interested to see what they do with that. Michael Shannon and Carla Gugino are going to star in a new film called Wolves. Jason Mantzoukas is joining Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler in The House. I like Jason a lot, and if you watch The League, this dude is so funny in The League as Raffi. So funny, man. Jurassic World continued to break records. Another record it broke was the biggest non-holiday Monday ever, when it made another $25.6 million, and then it made like another 23 on Tuesday. This thing just continues to crush day after day after day after day. I'm excited about this. I talked about it on last week's show that the book Meg, based on the prehistoric megalodon shark, was going to probably be adapted into a film. Well, now word comes out that Eli Roth is in negotiations to direct the film. I like Eli Roth a lot, and I was already stoked for the Meg movie. Now give me Eli Roth directing it. Hails to the yeah. I am super, super stoked on that one right there. I would love to see what his vision of that is. Back to the E3, we got Kingdom Hearts 3, Just Cause 3, Deus Ex, and Hitman trailers and more from Square Enix. So definitely check that out. I really like the Hitman trailer. That's a video game that I will definitely be picking up. I'm a big fan of the Hitman series, and I can't wait to see what they do with it on the PS4. We have the new trailer for Captive. This movie looks really, really good. It's based on a true story. It stars David Oyelowo and Kate Mara. Looks really, really good, so check out that trailer. Rita Ora has signed on as a judge for the X Factor UK, so that's pretty cool. We have revealed the Jurassic World limited edition Blu-ray gift set. I'm a big sucker for these Blu-ray gift sets, man. I know my wife is like, why do you keep buying this stuff? And I feel like I'm going to end up buying this one too. It is $100, so I probably shouldn't. But it's pretty awesome because it's got a statue of the Indominus Rex fighting the T-Rex. It's awesome, and I want it. The limited edition Blu-ray set, now available for pre-order on Amazon. Vin Diesel says that a sequel to The Last Witch Hunter is already in development. You know, I'm looking forward to The Last Witch Hunter, and I like that the studio has confidence in it, but sometimes I'm kind of like, you know, wait and see. I kind of like a wait and see approach on things sometimes, because these studios, I think, lately are just so quick to be like, franchise, make a sequel, blah, 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 when the first one hasn't even come out yet. Nobody's even, like, seen it to tell you if they like it or not. So why waste anybody's time or money on it? So as much as I like Vin Diesel, let's chill out just a bit. The Flash Season 1 and Arrow Season 3 are hitting Blu-ray in September. We have an article up with Emma Stone where she explains why she passed on joining the Ghostbusters reboot, the all-female one. So very interesting. You know, you can check that out. She basically just didn't want to get tied up in a big franchise and multiple films and everything like that. So I would have loved to have seen Emma Stone in it, actually. She's so good. Aaron Paul has joined the cast of the Hulu drama The Way. We talked about The Way last week with Michelle Monaghan signed on for the female lead. Now you got Aaron Paul. If you're a fan of The Princess Diaries and you've been waiting for that part 3 to come, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not happening. Yeah, Anne Hathaway let everybody know Princess Diaries 3 is not happening. Sorry. Finn Wittrock, who was on the last season of American Horror Story, he did American Horror Story Freak Show. he has just signed on to be a part of American Horror Story Hotel, and supposedly he'll be involved in a love triangle with Lady Gaga. So there you go. Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson have signed on to play brothers, and they're reuniting. Of course, they did the 70s show together. They're reuniting, and they're going to be doing a new Netflix show where they play brothers. It's going to be a comedy, and it's going to be a 20-episode season, but it's going to be broken up into 2 10-episode segments. So they'll do the 10 episodes and then probably be off for like 6 months and then do the other 10. I'm up for it. We'll check it out, see what's going on. Netflix is killing it right now with the original content. We have another trailer for The Secret Life of Pets. This is an animated film, and I gotta tell you, I'm not big on animated films, but I watched The Secret Life of Pets trailer, and I laughed my ass off. It was so funny. So funny. I mean, it's a movie just kind of kiddie, just, about what happens when the adults all leave and go to work. What do these pets do all day? And it just had me rolling on the floor, man. I was laughing my ass off. So this comes out in 2016. It sucks it's going to take so long to come out, but I am very excited about it and can't wait for The Secret Life of Pets. So check out that trailer. We also have the first official full-length trailer for Hotel Transylvania 2, which looks really, really good. The new official trailer for the Peanuts movie. We got the trailer for Boulevard, starring Robin Williams. This is his last movie, so really sad there. And the trailer for Turbo Kid. Xbox One backwards compatibility details have been revealed, and we got the article up explaining that. Melissa Rivers has officially joined the E! Channel's Fashion Police as the new co-host. I think this is really cool. Of course, for most people who don't know, her mother, Joan Rivers, was the Fashion Police host, and I think it's only fitting that Melissa takes up the mantle for her mom and becomes the new host of Fashion Police. Bill Fagerbach is returning to the new Coach revival that they're doing. He was on the original series, so that's pretty cool. I always like when people return to stuff like that. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are developing a new hybrid animated live-action Fox comedy. So we'll see what that turns into. I don't know much else about it, but I am a big fan of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, so I will give them a pass and we'll let it roll. Let's see here. We have the new teaser for Fargo Season 2 that you can check out. We got an article up with John Berthal where he talks about the huge honor of playing the Punisher in Daredevil Season 2. We talked a little bit earlier about Rob Zombie and how he did the Halloween movies. It's funny that I would bring up Rob Zombie twice in one episode, but he has just signed on to direct his next picture, and it's not what you think. It's not a horror movie, actually, for once. He's going to be directing the Groucho Marx biopic film titled Raised Eyebrows. Very interesting there, but we'll see what he does. We have the first official trailer for Kung Fu Panda 3, so that is cool. We have the first trailer for Emily Blunt's new film, Sicario. This looks really, really good. I was stoked by this trailer, man. Sicario looks sick. Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin, looks really, really good. Definitely check out that trailer. Matthew Vaughn says that he's going to be working on a new Hit Girl-centric prequel to Kick-Ass, the origin story of Hit Girl and Big Daddy. And I love it, man. I'm a big fan of the original Kick-Ass movie, especially Hit Girl and Big Daddy. So I'm super stoked to see what they do with this. Matthew Vaughn says hopefully they can bring love back to the Kick-Ass franchise with this prequel and then go on to make Kick-Ass 3 afterwards and close out that trilogy. I would love to see Kick-Ass 3. So hopefully his plan goes into motion and we get what we want. Brandi Glanville has left Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Aww. Lester Holt is going to be replacing Brian Williams on the nightly news. We have the first official trailer for Dark Places, the new Charlize Theron movie. This is based on the book written by Gillian Flynn, who also did Gone Girl, so I'm excited to see Dark Places. It's theaters on August 7th. We have some set photos of Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, and Kate McKinnon in the first set pictures from the new Ghostbusters reboot. They're really nothing special. They're not in like suits or anything like that. They're just some set photos. So you can check it out, but I'm just telling you, I'm giving you a forewarning so you don't get too excited about that. We have Everything Wrong with Magic Mike in 13 minutes or less, so you can check that out. John Lithgow and Matt Smith have been cast in Netflix's new show, The Crown. I told you Netflix was going crazy. Netflix blowing up. The Crown will debut in 2016. Giancarlo Esposito has joined Baz Luhrmann's hip-hop drama, The Get Down. Hellboy 3 report. You know, I told you last week that Ron Perlman has been really trying hard to get social media and everybody to, you know, stand together and get Hellboy 3 made. So a lot of fans started saying, you know, why don't you do like a crowdfunding campaign, do like a Kickstarter or something. And he actually shot it down. And he came out and he says, nope, we're not doing a Kickstarter. We're not doing any kind of crowdfunding campaign. He flat out said, you know, it's not the fans', you know, job to fund a movie. So he said, no, if we're going to do it, let's do it the right way. And I give the guy mad props for that, because I totally agree. You know, like, I don't mind crowdfunding when it's like a little documentary, when it's something, you know, kind of fun for the fans. But if it's going to be like a big budget movie, especially like a sequel, you shouldn't be asking fans to pay for it. So I really appreciate that. Even though Ron Perlman really wants to make this really bad, he's saying, no, let's not do it that way. So I give him mad props for that. Stephen Lang, Jane Levy have joined Fede Alvarez's new thriller. That'll probably turn out to be pretty cool. I like him and I like his style. He, of course, did the Evil Dead remake a couple years ago with Jane Levy as well. Tom Hanks is going to be portraying Captain Sully in that new Clint Eastwood film based on that guy's true story about landing the plane in the Hudson River. So that's pretty cool. I think the funny part to this story was that if you watch an interview with the real Captain Sully after the plane crash, he said, you know, watch, they're going to get like Tom Hanks to play me in the movie. And they did! So that's pretty damn funny. So love it. Love it. Love it. Back at Comic-Con news, Marvel, along with Paramount and Sony Pictures, are not going to be present in Hall H this year. This is pretty damn big. For those of you who don't know, I mean, I actually went to Comic-Con a couple years ago, and Hall H is their biggest auditorium that they have at the convention center, and that's where they do the big breakdown of, you know, unveiling all their big stuff and showing footage and everything's Hall H. Every studio fights to be in Hall H. And this year, they're saying Marvel, Sony, and Paramount are not going to do a Hall H presentation, which blows my mind. So, who knows, man? There's a lot of rumors going around that, you know, Comic-Con might move to a different city, different state. So we'll see what ends up happening. We got an article up with Paul Rudd. He talks about joining the Marvel Universe. He says it's been a surreal ride so far, and it's just getting started. So definitely check out that article with him. He's so happy to be a part of Marvel, and I'm happy that he is myself. We have the first trailer for Dragon Blade, starring Jackie Chan with Adrian Brody and John Cusack. And we have the first official trailer for Daddy's Home, starring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. This trailer was awesome. I really like Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg's chemistry together. I love the other guys, and this looks like it brings it right back. Basically, the story of this is Will Ferrell is a stepdad. He's married, and he's got a bunch of stepchildren, and Mark Wahlberg is the real father, and he comes to stay with the family for like a week, and then Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg are basically in competition over the kids to see who's the better dad, and it looks really damn funny. I like this trailer a lot, and it was a good one going into Father's Day weekend, so check out Daddy's Home. We got an article up with Jesse Eisenberg where he talks about his approach to playing Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman. He says he's not playing a silly, villainous character. He plays it very straight, very hardcore. He brought his own interpretation to it, and I really liked, you know, what he said about playing this character. He has a real passion for it, and I really like that. We also have an article up with Rosario Dawson talking about Season 2 of Daredevil, crossovers into the other Netflix shows, and The Punisher joining next season, so that was a pretty cool read there. Aaron Paul once again is signed on to another project. It's Zach Whedon's new Come and Find Me, so you can check him out in that as well. Back at E3, we have the 40-minute E3 demo for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Ooh. I like the Metal Gear games, so I'm looking forward to see what they end up doing on next gen. We also have an article up called Vacation, Origins and Evolutions, talking about the National Lampoon Vacation movies from where they started with Chevy Chase all the way up to the new semi-reboot sequel that's coming out next month with Ed Helms, which I think looks so funny. Let's see here. We also have a list of the 22 backward-compatible 360 games that will work on the Xbox One right now. We have a brand new promo for the Fear the Walking Dead, the spin-off show, coming soon. Vin Diesel is developing that Kojak movie. It is moving forward. We've heard about this Kojak movie for many, 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 many years, but it looks like it's finally moving forward. He's going to play Kojak. They got some writers. They're working on putting it together, and he says it's coming up. It's coming up. So, all right, Vin, let's do it. Kojak, baby. In the Take It With a Grain of Salt column, Indiana Jones 5, possibly in 2018. I'm going to leave that right there with you. We have the Batman Arkham Knight review from IGN. This game just dropped actually last night. I played it for about an hour or so, and it's really, really good. IGN gave it a 9.2 out of 10. Very impressive. We posted that review on our Instagram page, so if you're not following us yet on Instagram, just search up Am I on the Air and give us a little follow. Box office milestones. Jurassic World passed the 300 million domestic mark in record time once again. Julia Stiles is returning to the Bourne franchise. As you all know, Matt Damon is returning. They're going to do another Bourne Identity movie, and Julia Stiles is returning to reprise her role there. Let's see here. David Tennant has joined the new animated film called Chew. Jason Blum from Blumhouse Pictures says that people are going to be pleasantly surprised by M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit. I think The Visit looks really, really good, and I'm hoping it's like a return to form for Shyamalan. He really needs it. And, Jason Blum, the movie is a Blumhouse production, so maybe he's just saying it, but, I'm really hoping that he's telling the truth there, and it is a pleasant surprise for everybody, because it's time to bring back some faith into good old M. Night Shyamalama. Shyamalama ding dong. In the box office news, Jurassic World snagged the number one with $102 million, and Inside Out, the new animated Pixar film, was right behind it at number 2 with $91 million. The biggest debut for an original film, and the second runner-up in Pixar's history to Toy Story 3. Very cool there. Interesting note, and now, if I had done the show and got it put out on Sunday, I wouldn't have had this information to drop for you. But I originally was talking about how they said Jurassic World ended the weekend at 102 million. One of the other records it was trying to beat was biggest box office in the second week of being open. The current record holder is The Avengers. Once again, The Avengers made 103 million in its second week. So Jurassic World did 102, so it didn't hit it. When I recorded Sunday's show, I said, well, let's just wait till Monday when the official figures come out, because I bet you it ends up breaking the record. Because that's what happened last weekend. Remember, I told you at the beginning of the show, last weekend they said, Jurassic World made 204, it didn't break the record, and then the final numbers came out and it made 208, and did break the record. Well, I was right. The final numbers came out yesterday afternoon, and Jurassic World made $106 million. So it beat the 103 that Avengers did and made 106. So now Jurassic World is the biggest opening week and the biggest follow-up week ever in box office history. So crazy. Jurassic World, as of Sunday, had already hit $981.3 million and then passed that $1 billion mark on Monday. Like I said, in 13 days, the fastest film ever to hit $1 billion. So that is insane. Alright, so I have some bonus news for you. This is actually where Sunday's show cut off. But we, of course, got some extra news from Monday and Tuesday, so I'm going to go ahead and fill you in on the rest of the news. We have some details on Marvel Studios' Hulk contract. They've been talking about how, they can't make a Hulk movie because Universal owns the rights to it and everything. Well, we found out that Universal only owns the distribution rights. So Marvel can make a standalone Hulk movie if they wanted to, but then they'd have to allow Universal Pictures to distribute it. And they really don't want Universal Pictures to distribute it, and they don't want to share any profits, so they're kind of just staying away from it, just like we thought. So it's a little bit of a twist from where we thought the thing stood. Over on the rumor mill, we got Viggo Mortensen may be the main villain in that new Bourne Identity movie with Matt Damon. So we'll see what ends up happening with that one. We got the new list of what's coming to Netflix in July, including Serena and a new season of BoJack Horseman, and of course Wet Hot American's Summer. So lots of good stuff coming there. Did an interview with Ewan McGregor, and he says that he's very interested in doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars spin-off anthology film, which we all kind of expected, and there's a very good chance that they could do an Obi-Wan spin-off film, so we'll see what ends up happening there with that. A report had come out earlier yesterday saying that the CW was eyeing another spin-off of Arrow and the Flash, and supposedly it was going to be Hawkgirl, because Hawkgirl is going to be on the Legends of Tomorrow show, but then later in that afternoon that rumor was debunked, and CW said no, we don't know where that came from. We have no plans for another spin-off show, so it looks like that won't happen for right now. We have the first full official trailer for HBO's new 7 Days in Hell TV movie starring Andy Samberg and Kit Harington, which looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Jurassic World ended up passing yesterday $400 million domestically and that $1 billion globally. So, God, man, there's no stopping Jurassic World right now. It's just so crazy. E.L. James, of course, who wrote the 50 Shades of Grey books, her new book called Grey has already sold over 1 million copies in just 4 days. That is insane that many people still love this thing. Marvel has announced, even though they're skipping Hall H, they will be doing television panels for Comic-Con for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter, so that's pretty cool. At least you get a little something. We have the final trailer for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation posted. You can check that out. For those of you that are fans of NBC's Hannibal, I'm sorry to let you know that Hannibal has been canceled after 3 seasons. That one is done. The official box office number for Jurassic World was 106.6. So even though they were reporting 102 on Sunday, the final number was 106.6. So crazy, man. Queen Latifah is set to star in Sony's new Miracles from Heaven. Michael Keaton is going to produce and star in Imagine Agents. It's a comic adaptation, so that's cool. I love me some Michael Keaton, so let's do it. Independence Day 2, they have announced the official title for the film. The new movie will be called Independence Day Resurgence, so that's pretty cool there. Still no Will Smith, though. Makes me very sad. Titanic composer, Avatar composer, big long-time collaborator with James Cameron, passed away yesterday in a plane crash. So very, very sad. Lots of people in Hollywood doing tributes to him today. James Cameron did a really sweet tribute. Classic composer. Did so many themes in his career. And it's always sad when you see like a plane crash, car crash, anything like that. So definitely our condolences are out there for James Horner. Let's see here. We have NBC's fall premiere dates listed, including The Blacklist and Heroes Reborn. It looks like possibly Hugh Jackman will be in X-Men Apocalypse. An article came out with somebody working on set that designs outfits and props and stuff, and one of them let it slip that they were creating something for Hugh Jackman, and then that interview got pulled earlier this morning, so I don't know if that person's even around anymore, but it looks like he's on board. I mean, if they're making something for him, right? I really, really hope so. Especially if he's retiring in a couple years, man. Give us some more Hugh Jackman. Aisha Tyler has joined Criminal Minds for season 11. The Fast and Furious 7 Extended Edition is coming to Blu-ray and DVD on September 15th. I'll get my pre-order in on that. The latest Paranormal Activity, I forget the subtitle of it, The Spiritual Zone or something. They've announced that will end the franchise. That supposedly is going to be the last one. So, we'll see. Today we released the new trailer and poster for Hitman Agent 47. So, I'm looking forward to that. Comes out in August. Once again, if you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, it was announced that the X-Men Days of Future Past Road Cut is going to be screening at Comic-Con. You can watch it there, so that's pretty cool. Robert Downey Jr. may play a con man, Phil Kitzer, in the new film Chasing Phil. The band Disturbed is back from hiatus, and they're releasing their new album, Immortalized. This gets me really excited. I'm a big fan of Disturbed. Alicia Vikander has been confirmed for the new Bourne Identity movie. She will not be in Assassin's Creed, though. She was rumored for Assassin's Creed. She confirmed that she's not in that, but she is signed on for the Bourne movie. This gets me excited. The Rock announced today that he's set to star in the video game adaptation of Rampage. Remember Rampage? It was the big monsters tearing down the cities. The Rock is going to be in it, baby. So let's do it. Channing Tatum says that he would love to star in the new Ghostbusters reboot if they do a male one, which is the big rumor going around. And I think he's already involved, and now he's just kind of like, hey, I would love to do that. Of course you would, because you're involved already. Showtime is going to be adding content to Hulu. So Showtime's going to be releasing, just like how HBO did it, where you can subscribe to the Showtime app for like $11 a month. If you have Hulu, you'll get a discount, and you can do Showtime programming for an additional $8.99 a month. A game show based on Mr. and Mrs. Smith is in the works. I don't know how that's going to work. Don't ask me, but it's coming. Rob Hubel has joined the New Line comedy Keanu with Key and Peele. So I like Rob Hubel a lot, and I love Key and Peele, and I'm looking forward to Keanu. So that is cool. Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to tackle the new dark character drama called 478. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. We have the Honest trailer for Terminator 2 Judgment Day and the Everything Wrong with Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And breaking records just today, Fast and Furious 7 has just passed the Avengers and is now the third biggest box office film of all time. Wrap your heads around that, my friends. The biggest box office movie ever is Avatar. Number 2 is Titanic. Number 3 was Avengers, but now number 3 is Fast and Furious 7. Isn't that crazy, dude? I never would have thought Fast and Furious 7 would have passed Avengers to be the third biggest movie of all time. That is just insane. And last but not least, the biggest piece of news that came out today, and like I said, hopefully if this version of the show records and saves, will be that I could break this news to you, because we've been talking about it for what feels like the last year. We have our new Spider-Man finally. Tom Holland is the new Spider-Man. And you're saying, who? Tom Holland. Who? Yeah, he's a little British actor. He's 19 years old, but he looks like he's 12. He's the new Spider-Man. And the standalone Spider-Man film will be directed by John Watts. And then when I say that, you go, who? Exactly. They're going with some kind of no-names here. But you know what? As much as I don't like it, and I look at a picture of Tom Holland, and I say, this kid's going to be Spider-Man, I try to relax and chill, because my faith is strong in Marvel. I think Marvel has nailed every piece of casting they've ever done. So I will understand that they made their decision very carefully, and this was the best fit. John Watts, Kevin Feige said he met with him. He has a great eye for the character. He has a lot of, vision for the character and a movie, and that's why they gave him the job. So, Kevin, I have faith in you. I believe in you, so we'll roll with John Watts here. Tom Holland, yet to be seen what they do, but they did confirm that he will be in Civil War, and then he'll be in the standalone film. So he'll make his debut in the MCU in Civil War, which is currently filming. We will get our new Spider-Man finally. You know, he is playing like that 15, 16-year-old Peter Parker. And like I said, he looks like he's 12, so I'm like, that's a young Spider-Man there. But we'll see. If you read the full casting thing, it says that they brought him in, and he actually screen tested with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans because they wanted to see what kind of chemistry he had with Robert Downey, because he was going to share a lot of scenes with him. He was the only actor to screen test with Robert Downey and Chris Evans, and they just loved his relation with them, and their, how they all gelled together, and that's what won him the role. So I believe in it. I have faith in casting directors and in Marvel. I mean, Kevin Feige was there, the Russo brothers were there, everybody that's involved was there and said, this is our guy. So I have faith. It's just nice to finally know that we got somebody and we're set on our new Spider-Man. So once again, Tom Holland is the new Spider-Man. He will make his debut in Captain America Civil War next year. He will then be in he will launch his new trilogy of Spider-Man films in 2017, and the first, MCU Spider-Man film ever. We also have an article up saying, meet John Watts, the new director of Spider-Man. It's all about him and what he's done so far, if you're interested in some more detail on John Watts. And that, is the latest news of the week and 2 bonus days. What you wouldn't have gotten on Sunday. See, I'd have to wait a whole nother week to tell you about Spider-Man if the original show's recorded. So let's get on over to our release dates and box office numbers, and we'll wrap this baby up. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? Alright, on DVD and Blu-ray as of today is nothing really big. Some indie kind of films. The Forger, then it was starring John Travolta, and Pound of Flesh starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. In theaters on Friday is going to be Ted 2, Max, and Big Game. I will definitely be checking out Ted 2, and I'll have that review for you next week. And by the way, I know some of you are saying, man, there was no review this week. The only big movie that came out last weekend was Inside Out, and I didn't see it. Didn't get a chance to, and I'm not rushing to see it. My stepdaughter and my wife went and saw it the other day, and my wife raved about it. She said it was very, very good, and everybody I know raved about it. The movie's got like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, so Inside Out's doing just well for itself. I'll review Ted 2 for you next week. Coming in number 10 in the box office is Tomorrowland with $2 million. Number 9 is Avengers Age of Ultron with $2.7 million. Number 8 is Mad Max Fury Road with $2.8 million. Number 7 is Pitch Perfect 2 with $3.3 million. Number 6 is Insidious Chapter 3 with $4.1 million. Number 5 is Dope with $6 million. Number 4 is San Andreas with $8.2 million. Number 3 is Spy with $10.5 million. Number 2 is Inside Out with $91.1 million. And number 1 is Jurassic World with 102, but once again that was bumped up to 106.6 when the final numbers were tallied. So Jurassic World crushing, and we'll see what it does next week, with a little bit of competition from Ted, but it'll probably still be number 1 once again. So that, my friends, is your box office wrap up. That is everything you need. All your news, clues, and reviews. Once again, my name is Don Mega. I'm your host. Please follow me on Twitter at DXDonMega. You can follow the show at Am I On The Air. Check out our official webpage, which is amiontheair.com. On the website, you can listen to the show, listen to the Am I Still On The Airs. You can look at movie reviews. You can watch trailers. You can look at all the box office stuff. It's a good website to bookmark, so check out amiontheair.com. We are on iTunes, so you can subscribe, download, rate, subscribe to us on our iTunes feed. We are also on Stitcher, TuneIn, Spreaker. If you're looking for something on the go, Stitcher and TuneIn are obviously your best options for that, but we are on Spreaker as well. And if you're somebody that just likes to stream through YouTube, you can even listen to the episodes on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/amiontheair and listen to us there. We're all over the place. Subscribe to us on Instagram, and we'll be coming soon to Periscope, so keep an eye out for that as well. And of course, our big affiliate, reddragonsradio.com. That's that's where it all goes down. Follow on Twitter at Red Dragons Radio. We're so glad to be a part of that network. You can listen to us and This Week with the Geek and the People's Forum. So many great podcasts, including a brand new one called King Falls AM. They put out little 15-minute episodes every couple weeks, and they're really, really entertaining. Lots of crazy stuff going down in that King Falls AM. It's a little AM channel, 660 on your AM dial, where a lot of crazy, kooky stuff goes down in King Falls, and you can listen to it with my man Sammy over there. So check out King Falls AM, the latest show to be on the Red Dragons Radio Network. And with that being said, this has been take 3. Hold on to your butts. I'm holding on to my butt right now and hoping that this file saves when I hit stop. And we'll catch you next time, hopefully next time, because if this one doesn't record, then I don't know when the hell I'm doing another episode. But we'll catch you next time on another Am I on the Air? Good night, everybody. Till next time. Peace. Red Dragons!